Today, you'll be looking at two never-before-told events that end in terrifying ways. In the first story, a young explorer gets trapped by rocks in the mesmerizing yet treacherous depths of Benagil Cave, fighting for survival in the grip of darkness. In the second story, a routine rescue drill in Mexico's Sistema Sac Actun caves turns into an unexpected disaster, as a team battles for survival in cold, narrow passages. The sun shimmered as always along Portugal's Algarve coast, turquoise waves crashing against the cliffs in a dance of golden light. 15-year-old Sofia Almeida, a vibrant teen from Lisbon, was brimming with excitement. In the summer of August 2nd, 1989, Sofia had joined a youth camp to explore the renowned Benagil Cave. This magnificent sea cave was famed for its cathedral-like dome and shimmering waters. Fueled by an insatiable passion for exploration, Sofia prepared herself with a headlamp, rope, carabiner, and water. Led by their experienced guide, Miguel Costa, Sofia and three other teens, Ana Silva, João Mendes, and Lucas Ferreira, set out to explore the cave's accessible tunnels. Armed with headlamps and a thirst for adventure, they were ready for an unforgettable day. But what they didn't know was that as the cave's walls narrowed, their excitement would turn to terror. The group ventured deeper, their headlamps' flickering beams dancing on the slick limestone. The air was heavy, cold, and damp despite the August heat. The ocean's roar echoed from the cave's mouth, sending shivers through the inexperienced cavers. Miguel, a seasoned caver from Faro, guided them through a narrow passage, pointing out stalactites that hung steeply, gleaming like teeth in the light. Curious and bold, Sofia lingered to touch the cold, wet rock formations. The cave felt alive, as if Sofia were speaking a secret language with it, its walls pulsing with a history carved over millennia. Suddenly, a low rumble shattered the silence, echoing through the chamber like a warning from the cave's shadowed ceiling. Sofia stumbled, her foot slipping into a sharp crevice. Before she could react, two massive boulders pinned her leg like a vice, slamming her to the ground. Smaller rocks rained down, striking her torso and left arm. She screamed, her voice swallowed by the cave's suffocating darkness. It happened in an instant. Dust clouded the air, choking the group as Sofia's headlamp flickered, nearly extinguished, plunging her into near-total darkness. The other teens froze, their pale faces illuminated by their own trembling lights. Miguel lunged to Sofia's side, clawing at the rocks, but the hundreds of kilos of stone wouldn't budge. Sofia's leg was trapped in a 23-centimeter gap, her body half buried under debris. The cold limestone pressed against her skin, its icy grip seeping into her bones. Her breaths came short and ragged, each one laced with pain. Above, the ceiling loomed menacingly, its jagged edges hinting at another collapse. Have you ever felt fear take hold of you? Could you stay calm in Sofia's place? Miguel, his face taut with determination, barked orders. Ana, João, run to the surface and get help. Lucas, stay with me. The two teens bolted toward the cave's entrance, their footsteps echoing off the walls as they navigated the twisting passages. Everything had gone wrong. The darkness could swallow them too at any moment. Lucas knelt beside Sofia, his voice trembling but resolute. You're going to be okay, Sofia, he said, though his wide, terrified eyes betrayed his words. He held her hand, his own sweaty and shaking. The cave's damp chill enveloped them, and Sofia's lips began to pale. Each minute stretched into eternity, the darkness pressing down like a living entity. Miguel worked frantically, prying at the rocks with a small iron bar from his pack. But it was futile against the massive boulders. Sofia's pain was unbearable. The rocks had bruised her arm and torso, her leg trapped at an unnatural angle, throbbing with every heartbeat. The cave's moisture clung to her skin, her body temperature dropping dangerously. I'm so cold, she whispered, her voice barely rising above the distant drip of water. Lucas kept her talking, asking about her favorite beach and cascade to keep her conscious. Above, the unstable ceiling groaned, a sinister reminder of the cave's power. The stifling silence was broken only by Sofia's shallow breaths and the faint clinks of Miguel's futile efforts. The group was no longer explorers, they were prey in the cave's merciless grip. Down on the surface, Anna and João burst from the cave's mouth, their screams piercing the calm Algarve afternoon. They reached the camp, breathless and panicked, alerting the counselors. An emergency call was made to a specialized cave rescue team in Lagos, who mobilized with chilling efficiency. Equipped with hydraulic wedges, spreaders, and ropes, their gear clattered as they descended into Benagil Cave, their headlamps slicing through the darkness. Time was critical. Sofia's prolonged exposure to the cold, damp environment heightened the risk of hypothermia. Every second mattered. The team navigated 90 meters of treacherous passages to reach the trapped teen, their boots slipping on the slick limestone. They assessed the scene. Sofia lay pale and shivering, her legs still pinned, her body half covered in rubble. The rescue team, led by Rafael Sousa, a veteran caver with years of experience, moved with precision. Hydraulic wedges were carefully placed, the team working in tense silence to avoid triggering another collapse. The cave's walls seemed to watch, their jagged surfaces glinting in the headlamp light. Sofia's eyes fluttered, her strength fading, as the cold gripped her tighter. How much longer could she hold on? Lucas squeezed her hand, whispering encouragement, while Miguel stepped back, his face etched with guilt and fear. The team's tools groaned under the weight of the rocks, each movement calculated to free Sofia. After 90 grueling minutes, a sharp crack echoed. The rocks shifted, and Sofia's leg was free. A weak cry escaped her lips, relief mingling with pain. The team wrapped Sofia in thermal blankets to combat hypothermia and secured her to a stretcher. The journey back to the surface through the cave's narrow passages and uneven terrain was slow and meticulous, testing the team's skill. They moved as one, their training a lifeline in the darkness. Sofia's breathing steadied slightly, though her face remained contorted in pain. The ocean's roar grew louder as they neared the cave's mouth, and finally they emerged into blinding daylight. The camp erupted in cheers, but Sofia's ordeal wasn't over. Paramedics rushed her to a hospital in Portimao, where x-rays revealed 2 cracked ribs and extensive bruising. Miraculously, there was no permanent damage. Sofia recovered over weeks, her body healing while her mind replayed the cave's suffocating darkness. Yet, her spirit remained unbroken, a testament to her resilience and the skill of the team that pulled her from the brink. Sofia's story is a stark reminder of nature's dual nature, captivating yet brutal. With its turquoise waters and soaring dome, Benagil Cave is a wonder that draws thousands, but it harbors dangers that demand respect. Without Rafael's rescue team's expertise, this story could have ended in tragedy. It teaches us never to underestimate the wild and to trust those who pull us from its clutches. Sofia's ordeal shows how quickly adventure can turn deadly. The cave's darkness, its cold, unyielding walls, and the fragility of human life offer a lesson in respect and preparation for nature. What's the closest you've come to danger in the wild? Share your story in the comments. I'd love to hear it. Nature is breathtaking but unforgiving. Always be prepared. Stay safe. Deep beneath Mexico's Yucatán Peninsula, hidden under vast limestone cliffs, lies Sistema Sac Actun, a sprawling underwater cave system, one of the largest in the world. This isn't just a playground for daring divers and explorers. It's a proving ground for underground rescue teams, where dark, twisting passages test both body and mind. The caves demand courage, precision, and nerves of steel, making them the perfect place to sharpen the skills of those who save lives in the depths. Every step in Sistema Sac Actun is a dance between bravery and caution when nature itself challenges human resolve. In October 2001, the Mexican National Cave Rescue Commission set out to conduct a routine training drill in these caverns. The goal? Hone their skills, test their gear, and ensure they could act fast in a real crisis. Every detail was planned with precision, procedures followed to the letter, equipment checked and rechecked. But no one could have foreseen that this practice run would soon become a desperate fight for survival. Caves, with their unpredictable nature, have a way of turning plans upside down. The scenario was straightforward. Rescue an injured caver from a tight, treacherous pit about 40 feet deep. The team had done this countless times before. Stabilize the victim, hoist them up with ropes, and execute every move with disciplined coordination. It was supposed to be routine, another successful training in the books. Would you crawl out of your cozy beds to face a challenge like that, even for practice? The team prepared meticulously. Ropes, carabiners, helmet lights, and radios were inspected multiple times to ensure nothing was left to chance. Every piece of gear was a link in a chain of safety. Leading the effort was Carlos, a 38-year-old veteran caver and one of the team's most trusted members. His calm leadership was a steadying force. For this drill, Carlos volunteered to descend into the pit to rescue the injured caver. With years of experience, he was the perfect man for the job, or so it seemed. Carlos reached the pit's bottom and began stabilizing the injured caver, following the script perfectly. A voice crackled over the radio. "Carlos, prepare for ascent. We're in the final stage." He secured himself to the rope and started climbing, his helmet light casting faint beams across the cave's jagged walls. His teammates tracked his progress, everything going as planned, until a sharp snap echoed through the darkness, followed by a chilling silence. The rope, worn thin by the cave's razor-sharp limestone, had given way without warning. Invisible to the eye, the damage was catastrophic. Carlos plummeted 14 meters, crashing onto a jagged limestone block below. The impact rang through the cold, damp air, met only by an eerie hush. His teammates froze. Carlos lay motionless, his right shoulder dislocated, 2 ribs broken, and a deep gash on his head. The cave fell silent for a heartbeat before the team's shouts shattered the stillness. What had been a drill was now a real-life rescue mission. How had it come to this? There was no time for panic. Caves don't forgive mistakes. A single misstep could dislodge a rock or bring down the ceiling. The team snapped into action, their training kicking in despite the shock. Carlos was breathing but unconscious, his face pale, his body trembling in the cave's icy grip. Caves aren't just dark, they're brutally cold, and hypothermia was a looming threat. Every second mattered. The team assessed his injuries and realized their original plan of vertical ascent was no longer viable. Instead, they faced a grueling task, carrying Carlos through a narrow, muddy, horizontal tunnel. The rescue leader's voice crackled over the radio. "Drill!" The rescue leader's voice crackled over the radio. "Drill canceled. Real rescue underway. We have an injured man." Teams above ground sprang into action, but down in the depths, everything depended on those at Carlos's side. Moving Carlos was a nightmare. The tunnel was tight, low, and slick with mud. Flashlights barely pierced the pitch black, illuminating just a few meters ahead. Every step risked a slip or a falling rock. The team secured Carlos to a stretcher, but his consciousness flickered in and out. They inched forward, battling the cave's claustrophobic grip. Some passages were so narrow that backpacks snagged on the ceiling, forcing team members to shed gear. The muddy floor threatened to pull them down, while sharp outcrops clawed at the stretcher. Every move was a test of endurance and focus. The team padded Carlos' stretcher with foam to shield him from the cave's jagged surfaces. Radio signals faltered in the depths, leaving them isolated, yet they pressed on, their discipline holding firm. Each step felt like an eternity, every breath a battle against fear and fatigue. After 2.5 agonizing hours, the team reached a wider gallery in the cave. For the first time, they could breathe a little easier. The path to the surface was now within reach, but Carlos's condition remained dire. Every moment was critical. They pushed forward, finally emerging into the open air, where paramedics rushed Carlos to an ambulance. At the hospital, the doctor's report was grim. A dislocated shoulder, 2 broken ribs, head trauma, and suspected internal bleeding. Yet they marveled at one fact. He survived. In a few months, he'll walk again. Carlos's survival was a testament to the team's skill and sheer human resilience. The incident at Sistema Sac Actun is now a cornerstone of cave rescue training. It wasn't just a tragedy, it was a wake-up call. The rope's failure, caused by subtle wear from the limestone's abrasive edges, was nearly impossible to detect. Limestone may look harmless, but it's a silent destroyer, capable of shredding critical gear in hours. The Mexican Cave Rescue Commission overhauled its standards. Ropes were upgraded to tougher materials. Equipment checks became more rigorous, and every drill now includes real risk scenarios. The accident showed that training and reality are separated by a razor-thin line. Caves hold ancient secrets, but they guard them fiercely. Carlos's story is more than an accident. It's a powerful reminder of human strength, teamwork, and the need to respect nature's raw power. Sistema Sac Actun isn't just a place, it's a crucible that tests the limits of courage and survival. In its depths, the human spirit shines brightest, proving that even in the darkest moments, we can overcome.